So the one thing about having a woodworking husband is you pick up tricks. So I have this little 3-drawer little side table cabinet. It's a little bit on the short side, so I would like to add some legs to it, some little feeties. I have these 4. They don't match. We're going to be painting them, so it doesn't really matter, but they all are the same. They're just different woods. So from watching him over the years do things, I'm like, I think I can attempt this myself. So raw wood. You got to love raw wood because you can paint it whatever you want. So, and it was used raw. Somebody never painted it. They used it raw. Bought it at an auction. But here's the, I can't just screw feet into that. It will not work. So I need to add wood. I need to add blocks of wood into that space. Somehow. Whether it's this way, I will figure it out. That's the way I am a problem solver, and I love to figure things out. Though we don't need these little tacks that they used as glides, because we'll have those sweet little things. So the concept is close, but as you see, these, they're not big enough. I grabbed them out of our scrap pile before they go to the burn pit. So I'm going to go over in his stash and see what he has. Okay, so since I don't need these are not going to come in handy. He has a little wood box by his table saw that sometimes I get into and steal things. I steal things out of because you never know. Sometimes they fit. But I'm going to walk over here. I'm looking for a longer, that's treated. What are these pieces back here? Hello, skinny pieces. I don't know what you were from. Oh, there's 2. Okay. That might be something we can work with. You probably salvaged them off of something, so fair game. So now I have a workable, that is more workable. I can do a little box dimension, screw it in, screw it in from the side, get everything all in there, and something to screw the little legs on. Okay, so let me figure out, what do I need? I am more of this type of person that measures. Let's flip her over. My type of measuring. So I'm going to put it up against that piece. Make a mark. Bring it over here to the chop saw. Find my measurement. Okay, does it fit? It does. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pop these off. Maybe. So this one's a little bit easier because it's all the way down. So I'm going to do some tight bond glue. Make sure which one was which. Yep. To hold that until I can get some screws in there, I'm going to clamp it. Around. Now I'll put a screw in here, which I think I'm going to put another skirting on anyway, but pre-drilled the hole. I'm going to put a screw in there. Flip around. Make sure that that's staying. Just because I have the clamps doesn't mean it's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to stay right where you want me. Ha ha ha. No. Right. Okay, pre-drill. To make sure my screw's not going all the way through. Apparently I have a mix box here. Totally brad nail it in, but I just, with it being legs, I'm gonna do another screw. Like I said, I'm gonna put a skirting on it. And I'll throw a couple brads in. There's nothing more frustrating than putting feet on something and having it, you know, come loose. So, of course, this one doesn't have the back. So glue here. And then I will glue, I'm trying to, what's the pretty side here? Want that to be square. I'll glue there. We will talk to it nice to have it fit in here. And to be able to put the skirting on and have something to go into, we'll just make this baby stronger. There. Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be all the same size. I feel like you'd much rather it be a really tight fit than loose. Well, I have it. Why not, right? So it'd be a little bit of a skirt. So yeah, oh, the scallops. Yes, I'm doing the scallops. I'm going to start off my front first, but I don't want to like have it level to the bottom because then you see, you know, that, which probably would look fine once it's painted, but I feel like you just want to bring it down just slightly. And then when I go to cut the other piece, I'll cut that much so it looks like it's just rounded, if that makes sense. So I need a little guide of where to cut. Just bring it over to the bandsaw to cut it. Do we fit now? I think we do. So we'll do a little glue. So happy my new bottle came. And then my brad nailer will just go through it. So I'm going to get my little air staple gun and that will shoot in there better. And that this is going to hide the screws, which is nice. And then I'm going to try to match up that side. So see, at least it's got that bigger side. There we go. Okay, now I'm putting a little X to know where to drill for my legs. Now that was just my dry fit. I don't want to screw them in yet because I want to sand this. I'm probably going to paint. This is raw right now. I'm probably going to paint my edge like I paint the rest of it so it doesn't look like it's such an add-on. Now I'm going to mix up a little bit of Bondo I need to get that little edge here, fill in all those, and then I want to fill in the gap here so it doesn't look like, I mean, it's an add-on, but you don't want it to look like it's an add-on. So Bondo, I use it at like a wood putty. A little bit of the putty. The blue stuff is the hardener. I like it because the work time is minimal, like 5-10 minutes you can start sanding. But 5-10 minutes also means that you sometimes have to mix up another batch to finish your job too. Because once you mix it up, it starts to do its business. So I just want to make sure there's a nice blend right there on my little staples. Now with Bondo, the longer you let it sit, the harder it is to sand. So if you let it sit overnight, it might be really hard to sand. I'm going to go ahead and take those and some Titebond glue. Now we have legs. So I'm just going to tape off this backboard. That way I can be a messy painter that I am. I'm always a messy painter. I'll wear it. That's probably why I like the milk plate paint or the clay-based paint, because if I get it on myself on my clothes, it washes off in the washing machine. Sometimes I think about the stupidest stuff, like painting this. I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be painted to match the piece, and like it just always had been there. I don't know. Am I stupid? I don't know. Am I making more work for myself? Probably, but it makes me feel better to get it done. I've determined that my legs may not have been an exact match, but when I stood it up, they were the exact same height. Once you paint them, it'll be all good. That's all. I thought they were a match. Well, close enough. So it's always something when you're buying something secondhand. I thought that the knobs just needed to be tightened up. They're all loose. But that's not the case. I need to add, like, see, this one's, see how much there's like a gap there. So I'm going to add a washer. Because I'm keeping the same hardware, I'm actually going to paint it. I'm going to add 2 washers in the hopes that this tightens that up. So that it's not all wonky. I mean, definitely usable, but that is so much better. Now so it took 2 washers, but now it's tight. Now we don't have to worry about it moving. So it would seem a lot of companies have their own version of milk paint. Now I've used Homestead House's stain before and I liked it. So it's the same thing like Sweet Pickins or the Fusions. It's a powder paint that you mix with water. So I'm going to be doing Cartier, names I can never pronounce, and porcelain on the drawers, and then Cartier on the body of that little cabinet. I thought it would be fun to do a two-tone. So Homestead House has a lot. So those are the stains that I have used before and loved them. So why not try some of their milk paint? So same thing, equal parts. So I'm going to make a little bit less, just a nice sage. I just call it sage, but you know, they give a name that and throw an I in there. Oh. Okay, then we're going to mix up porcelain, which I think would be a little bit not as bright white for the drawers. It seems to be a little bit on the runny side. You can always add more water in. Oh yeah. Let's do the half. Whew. So I'm going to paint the knobs the same color, just the white. Do my difficult, do my difficult first, right? It may seem silly, but to me it just completes it by finishing that area off. There is here and there crackle, not like what the milk paint does by any means, but I'm going to change my sandpaper out and go, because this is an 80 grit, and go with 220 and start getting all the little bumpies and smooth it down, give it a little bit more distressing. So it's just a much different, I mean, this is funny because, so it could be the raw wood, like this crackled a lot, the new little scallops that I did. So, hey, but I'm just calming all the little texture down. I was looking for a soft cottage kind of color, and I think I got it. I'm going to start out by sealing it in with Fusions, just the clear wax. Just like any milk paint, you gotta seal it in with something. I wasn't really looking for like that dark in your face where I usually put them in, you know, the aging wax and the crackles, the chippies. Just looking for a softer, and I think that's plenty. I know this does not, you know, match completely, but that's okay. It's an accent. Okay, now I can take off the tape. And then sand off that little crusty edge where the tape and the paint meets up. Three little drawers. But yeah, that has cracking and crazy. And I think sometimes too, it's when it's able to lay flat on, that helps it also. So what I'm doing when I'm sanding is I'm going for a feel. You're going to feel like the cracking, the crazing, but you don't want to feel the rough and bump like how it dries. And where I can't go in with electric sander, you know, you got to go in by hand. So I wasn't sure if this was going to work. I had a droopy drawer, meaning, can you see that space? So I ended up shooting it with my framing and thinking, oh, well, that maybe it will be strong enough. Well, at least it gave it a guide. And then I cut a little piece just to hold the drawer back up so it wasn't like, you know, falling down. That seems to have held it in place. I didn't video it because I wasn't even sure myself if that was going to work. And luckily it'll be hidden. But it's better to have some type of a fix to lift it back up than it is to have that hole and it being warped like that. Just getting that little lip where the paint ran over. I know sometimes I think I worry about the silliest things. And I think Chris always says I do too many projects in one video. I probably do, y'all. But I want to get this little cabinet done. Very cute. Except it has some damage. I bought it as a quick because I needed a piece in my booth. It's nice and tall, so books or little tchotchkes, your littles. Yeah, something along the line spilled on it. So I thought, well, other than sanding it, it just really needs to be painted. It worked for what I needed it for, and now I don't. Now I have a whole new booth, and I didn't need it, and Beck and Alex didn't need it either. I don't think it's terribly too well. It's got a lot of that old shellac on it. See how that bubbles over time? That's okay. We have sandpaper. You can really tell how tall it is. So, and at 80 grit to get those old marks off. The one thing I didn't notice when it was up so tall is that you can see the nail. You're not supposed to see the nail. So I'm just going to mix up a little Bondo and fix that little corner there. I don't think I see any other marks. I'm like, I didn't even notice that. That's why you get up and personal with your pieces that you're doing. It didn't look that big until I started having to sand everything. So now I'm just wiping it down with some Dawn dish soap, some hot water, getting as much of the sanding dust off as I possibly can. I blew it off with the air compressor, but shellac off to put shellac back on. That seems about right? But I want to seal this piece in before painting it. So I'm going to be doing sweet potato on this. When I bought it, I automatically thought, especially seeing that damage, I'm like, sweet potato, it needs to be sweet potato. So actually I haven't done sweet potato in a while. So the slack is dry, so I'm just going to mix up equal parts. A lot of angles to get here. Kind of have to use an angle brush so I can get into the sides, the corners. Definitely when you do sweet potato, it's a unique, one-of-a-kind color on a big piece like this. But it usually always does really well in the selling aspect of it all. Mixing up a little bit more because, of course, you know, I only have this much. I know I could buy, but this is a nice size for my hand, this plastic cup. So this is the Sweet Pickins milk paint with shellac underneath, and there's that crackle. Yes, it's just plain and simply two different products. I think anyway. Just a different, you're just going to get a different look with the Sweet Pickins than you are with the Fusion or the Homestead House. So it's all just what you're looking for. It's fun to have different textures. I'm a real huge fan of the very crackly, but not everybody is, so that's good to have a little something different. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go in and sand. Do you want to see something really scary? Black wax. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And it just really transforms sweet potato into something else. I know it's always so scary. But I like dark on sweet potato. It really gives it that primitive antique look. Oh, so you still see it, but it just gives it an age. Just something about the age it gives it. Oh my gosh. My heart can't take it. It's going to explode. Oh, yeah, it's one of those like, oh, that is so, but oh, it is so. So thanks for hanging with me as I worked on these two little small furniture pieces. Totally two different vibes, but I had fun doing it. It's fun testing out a new product, getting different results. It still gives you that aged look of milk paint. Just fun to play around with them. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and you can see what I'm painting. Bye.